The caterpillar encounters a spectacular transition into a butterfly. It begins its existence crawling on the ground, its motions and viewpoints constrained. As it grows, it consumes nourishment, preparing itself for the incoming profound change that lies beyond its existence. Ultimately, when it is ready to embark on a new life, the caterpillar soars into the sky as a butterfly. Now, before you start losing your focus, no, this is not a science class. But if change can generate something so beautiful, then why are we so terrified of it? Well, this is a question that I cannot answer as of right now. But a question that I can answer is, what do we all have in common? Now, this question is really easy to me because I am pretty sure that we all in this hall have outgrown something in our lives. Whether it was driven by a change in your values, a change in your interests, or simply the epiphany of, I don't feel comfortable being a part of this anymore, I am pretty sure that each and every one of us has underwent this. So now I would like to ask you, if recently you just lost a friend or outgrown an interest, please raise your hands. I am one of the people that has undergone this. But how do we define the word outgrowth here, and what is its significance in my TED Talk? Well, outgrowth is a word that I just recently discovered, and according to the Cambridge Dictionary, they defined it as a result or further development of something. And the first thing that grasped my attention was how its definition incorporated the word development. And development, as we all know, is the process in which something simple gradually evolves into something more complex with the passage of time. Now, this process is something that we all have experienced and will continue to do so for the rest of our lives. Now, despite the positive outlook that I have developed in terms of looking at change, it was not an easy thing to begin with. So if you're here today and you still think that adapting to change is such a hard thing to do, that is completely okay. I'm pretty sure that we all have been there before. So how did change influence me? Well, change has undeniably affected me in a wide variety of ways, in ways that maybe may have destructed my mental health. Now, there were a lot of experiences, but one of the most poignant and memorable experiences of change to me is when I lost my friends. Now, according to a social network study conducted by the sociologist called Gerald Mollenhorst of Utrecht University, humans lose approximately 5 of their closest friends in the span of 7 years. He conducted the investigation among men and women aged 18 to 65, and he contacted them 7 years after. And a thing that he discovered was that while some new friends have entered our lives, only 30% of those from the past remained. So now I would like each and every one of us here to imagine all of our closest friends. Think of all the great memories, think of all the laughter, and think of all the great things that have happened. What if I told you that in less than a year, they will all solely be a fragment of your memories? Well, last year, let's rewind back to 2022. COVID-19 took a toll on many aspects of our lives. It took a toll on our ability to socialize. It took a toll on our ability to be with the people that we love. And most importantly, the wounds and the scars that it left us may even still remain till today. Well, last year, I experienced one of the most memorable experiences. I lost my friends, and these people were the people that I grew up with. We knew everything about each other. We talked to each other every day, and we were practically inseparable. It was almost like our identities were reliant upon each other. But one day, little did I know, a small event could lead all of these beautiful memories to disappear. Now, while the friendship that was once dear to me gradually disappeared, it was almost like I lost a major part of myself. But thankfully, I have moved on, and I've found better friends who are a better fit for me. And despite all the sadness that this loss has caused me, I still thank them for the progress that they have caused in me because they have forged me into becoming who I am today. Now, besides outgrowing people, I have also experienced numerous experiences where I outgrow an interest. Now, one day, a thing that I newly discovered may mean the world to me, and I see it as something that maybe I will later on pursue in life. But with the progression of time, it is merely a thing of the past. Now, maybe a lot of us here has experienced the same thing, and especially as teenagers, you may wonder, what am I truly passionate about? Now, being an adult does not even future-proof you with a clearly defined roadmap of knowing what you would like to achieve in life, knowing what you would like to pursue, let alone knowing things as simple as your interests. This is also going to apply to all of us teenagers here. But I would not call these experiences losses. I would rather call them experiences that puts us in a closer position into discovering what we want. Now, outgrowing things can simply mean that you no longer feel like you belong. Now, this, simply put, signifies change, and it also signifies potential growth. Now, why did I say potential growth? This is because these changes themselves cannot automatically generate growth. It would require your initiative and your constant effort in being able to see these experiences as things that you can learn from, as opposed to things that can hinder you from leading a positive and prosperous life. Hence, this leads me to the most important topic of this TED Talk, which is what can direct change to growth? Now let's just get straight to the point. The first thing is to accept our emotions. Now this step is not as simple as we think it is. It would require us to be vulnerable. It would require us to be open and honest with ourselves. And oftentimes, acknowledging our emotions is a very hard thing to do. We lie to ourselves. We tell ourselves that we are happy about the state that we are in. We tell ourselves, you're overreacting. You're thinking too much. Stop thinking about it. But little do we know, these small events in which we suppress our emotions and bottle them up can lead to such detrimental effects. According to a study conducted by the Harvard School of Public Health and the University of Rochester, people who bottled up their feelings had an increased chance of obtaining cancer for as much as a staggering amount of 70%. Furthermore, it also can increase one's chance of enduring premature death for as much as 35%, and 47% as for heart diseases. Hence, by simply acknowledging what happens in the mind, we are also protecting the temple that we all know as our bodies. Now, there are a vast amount of opportunities that can come from within the stage. Not only that, it allows us to know how we feel, it forms the foundation of development. Now, your job is to discover how you can control your emotions and discover the root of your negative emotions. It is not my job to dictate what you can do with your feelings or how you can deal with them. To me, dealing with my emotions can simply be to talk to my sister, but to you, it can be to talk to a professional or to talk to a mirror. There are a wide variety of ways in which we all can express our emotions, and it is our job to discover how we can do so. But once we do, it will provide our mind with clarity, enabling us to know how we would like to achieve our goals. Hence, this leads me to the next step, which is to be open to new opportunities. Now, being open to new opportunities might sound like such a frightening experience. Now, imagine yourself being situated in a position where someone that you look up to tells you, go quit your job. I know you're not passionate about it. Go be an artist, chase your dreams. Now, your first instinct to this statement may incorporate feelings of worry or even denial. But little do you know, beyond that opportunity lies a world filled with endless possibilities. Now, yes, embracing the courage to open new opportunities might sound like such a frightening experience. But as we embrace our braveness to take upon new opportunities, we are exposed to a landscape filled with possibilities that are waiting to be seized. Now, I have experienced this because as of recently, I just discovered the passion that I have towards debate, the passion that I have towards writing and speaking. And this happened thanks to my braveness in being able to expand my horizons. So yes, it may be hard, but once you do it, you will be exposed with a wide variety of opportunities that can expand your perspectives. As the Greek philosopher Socrates once said, the secret of change is to focus all of your energy not on fighting the old, but on building the new. Hence, this leads me to the last and the ultimate step that will guarantee us a lifelong benefit. Now, adapting into this mindset will provide us with the ability to thrive through the obstacles of life and to also navigate ourselves through its uncertainties and to also embrace change. Now, the last step is to finally acknowledge the importance of change. Now, a lot of us here may know that change exists, but oftentimes we resist it from happening. We tell ourselves that we are passionate about our interests. We tell ourselves that we are passionate about what we do. We pretend that we love the people that we surround ourselves with. But little do you know, you don't actually feel that way. And oftentimes, we also suppress our negative emotions. We also pretend that we love everything about our life without us having to modify a single thing about it. Now again, this is a very natural occurrence as human beings try to resist their negative emotions. But as you acknowledge the importance of change, you will be an individual who can thrive in multiple circumstances in life. As you acknowledge the importance of change, you will be able to thrive in many circumstances and obstacles because it will provide you with the experience to be able to become open to new opportunities and to also be open-minded enough to take upon new experiences. And although, yes, acknowledging the importance of change and executing it may sound like such a frightening experience, and the initial repercussions may struck us with a loss of self-confidence, and it may even undermine our self-identity. But one day, they will all make sense to you. So, if you still fear change, even after listening to the speech, I can reassure you that as you widen your perspectives, navigate yourself through the uncertainties of life, and embrace the incoming opportunities that come your way, it will all be worth it. Thank you.